She traded vows for vengeance, then woke to sirens outside. You matched his betrayal with betrayal. You signed papers and lost a home. You watched him with his first wife while your life emptied. The insults piled up. The support never came. This narrative peels back each lie, each lonely night, and the violent moment that turned regret into a criminal trail. You think pain ends when you return the blow. You think payback heals. Tonight proves the opposite. One woman watched her home split. She reached for revenge. A door opened that never should have opened. Pride pushed her through. Lies pulled her deeper. By the time she looked back, the floor was red, the street was loud, and there was no way out. Meet Lucy, wife, professional, mother of one. Routine held the house together. Morning school runs, shared bills. Then a message popped on her husband's phone late at night. A heart emoji, a hotel receipt. His voice cracked when she asked him to explain. He muttered excuses. He said it was a mistake. She stared at the clock and did not sleep. The next few days felt slow. She ate little, she spoke less. She checked his phone when he showered. More messages. A name saved under a man's contact. She confronted him again. He said it meant nothing. He promised change. She watched his eyes. They drifted. Trust fell to the floor like a plate. She reached out to a friend. The friend told her to breathe. The friend told her to wait. Lucy shook her head. She wanted to feel powerful. She wanted him to hurt. That is when Ben appeared. Married, charming, quick with compliments. He saw the ring and smiled anyway. He said she looked strong. He said she deserved adoration. He filled her inbox each morning with praise. He asked for lunch. She said yes. The affair began in parked cars and shadowed corners. He told her, "You are beautiful." He told her, "Your husband does not see you." He told her, "I wish I met you first." He whispered, "I am leaving my marriage." He urged, "Leave yours too." He drew maps of a future that felt warm. That future had no arguments. That future had no secrets. That future did not exist. Her husband noticed the late returns, the new perfume, the locked phone. He asked what was going on. She looked him in the eyes and told him the line she had prepared. "I met someone. I do not love you anymore. I found my true match." He stared at her like the floor had vanished beneath his feet. He nodded. He signed. He moved out with one suitcase and a box of photos. Lucy called Ben crying and laughing at the same time. She told him it was done. He grew quiet. He said the timing was off. He said his wife refused to meet a lawyer. He said he needed patience. Weeks passed. She waited in a small apartment with peeling paint and a half-assembled shelf. She told herself love would conquer delays. Love did not pay the rent. Love did not pick up the phone. Then came the twist. He visited one Friday, wearing the cologne she did not recognize. He looked at the ceiling while he spoke. He said he had chosen a compromise. His family wanted peace. His culture accepted a second wife. He presented the offer as if it were a prize. He would marry Lucy, but keep his first home intact. Her chest burned. Her mind spun. She told herself this was a bridge. She told herself this was temporary. She said yes. The ceremony was quiet and fast. No father walked her down an aisle. No friend cheered. No ring from a velvet box. She entered a compound where the first wife ruled every corner. The first wife watched with a steady calm. She welcomed Lucy with a nod. The smile did not reach her eyes. The next weeks cut her spirit cleanly. Ben turned colder. He stopped texting good morning. He stopped calling at night. He stopped opening doors. He stopped looking at her. He glued himself to the first wife at meals and family trips. They laughed about private jokes. They whispered in hallways. Lucy sat alone in a guest room that smelled of fresh paint and closed windows. She asked him why the change. He said she had shown her true nature when she cheated on her first husband. He said men needed evidence. He said she had provided it. He said he married her to prove a point. She stood numb. She asked for affection. He turned away. The bed stayed empty. The lock on her door clicked each night. The house spoke a language she did not understand. The first wife did not hide her anger. She insulted Lucy during breakfast. She mocked her during chores. She called her a homebreaker and a cautionary tale. She said, "You left your home to share mine? You will learn why that was foolish." Those words pressed into her chest like stones. Lucy reached for Ben again. She asked for money for groceries. He told her to fend for herself. She asked for time together. He waved her off. He filmed trips with his first wife and posted short clips. Restaurant lights, airport gates, matching outfits. Lucy watched those clips from the guest room. The battery on her phone often sat at 1 bar. Her account balance moved toward 0. Her former husband moved on. Friends said he looked healthier. He smiled more. He returned to the gym. He picked up their child on weekends. The child asked why mommy couldn't come along. Lucy wiped tears with the back of her hand and said she had errands. She had no errands. She was ashamed.
Sleep fled. Food lost taste. She scrolled through old photos, then deleted them, then restored them, then looked away. Her reflection in the mirror grew thinner. Dark circles sat beneath her eyes. She thought about leaving. She had nowhere to go. She thought about begging her ex for forgiveness. He blocked her number. She thought about telling Ben's family the truth. The first wife controlled every path. One night, she overheard laughter in the courtyard. Ben and his first wife clinked glasses under a string of lights. Music played softly. Lucy stood behind a curtain. She watched his hand rest on the first wife's back with a tenderness he had never shown her. She pressed her fist to her mouth to stop a sound from escaping. The words that destroyed her arrived 3 days later. They met in the living room. A football match murmured on the television. He did not mute it. He told her he had never loved her. He told her she existed as a lesson for anyone who thought betrayal ended well. He told her he would provide no support. He told her she could stay in the guest room if she followed the rules. No friends, no visitors, no voice. Something cracked in the air between them. It felt like winter in her lungs. She nodded. She turned away. She counted steps back to the room where the curtain breathed slowly in the afternoon heat. She sat on the edge of the bed and stared at a small crack on the wall that looked like a lightning fork without thunder. Rumors spread through the compound. Some said she still met men on the side. False. Some said she had a curse on her. False. The truth was simpler. She was alone and losing herself. She stopped picking calls. She stopped answering the door. She stopped singing while she washed plates. She stopped putting on lipstick. She stopped believing tomorrow would look different. Then came the day the insult drew blood from the past. The first wife cornered her at the sink. Her voice was calm. Her words were sharp. You gave up your vows for a lie. You gave up your home for a shadow. You will sit in this shadow forever. Lucy froze. A buzzing started behind her eyes. She finished the dishes. She dried her hands. She locked the door of the guest room and sat again in silence. Hours later, Ben returned from a trip. He joked with the first wife in the hallway. He entered the guest room without knocking. He told Lucy to sign a paper that would formalize her secondary status. She read the lines. They legalized her emptiness. She refused. He shrugged. He said her refusal changed nothing. He stepped closer. He said a line he should not have said. "You are property that failed to appreciate." She looked at him as if he had slapped her. Time stopped. A thought as simple as a match struck inside her. If I do not own a life, no one will own his. This was not logical. This was pain dressed as power. She stood. He laughed. He turned to leave. Her hand reached for the drawer where a kitchen knife sat dull from overuse. The blade reflected nothing. No blood-curdling details here. That would cheapen the truth. There was a struggle. There were raised voices. There was a thud against a table. The knife moved once. Then the knife fell to the floor. His body slumped. The room went quiet except for the television in the parlor, still talking to no one. She did not run. She did not scream. She sat on the floor with her back against the wall. The first wife opened the door and stopped breathing for a second. Then she shouted for help. Neighbors gathered at the gate. Someone called the police. Sirens approached fast. Blue lights painted the walls through the window. Officers entered and secured the scene. They found the knife. They found Lucy with empty eyes. They read her rights. They took statements. They led her out in handcuffs past people who had watched her carry groceries and hang laundry. Cameras flashed from a few phones. The clip hit local timelines within minutes. Comment sections poured fuel on a fire that did not need more heat. Interview rooms smelled like stale air and coffee. The detectives asked their questions in a flat tone. Lucy answered slowly. She did not deny anything. She described the months of isolation. She described the taunts. She described the night of the final insult. A lawyer sat beside her and took notes. The clock on the wall ticked too loud. The autopsy sat in a file that thickened with reports. The charge sheet used short words that carried heavy weight. Family members on both sides tried to manage optics. Some asked for mercy. Some demanded maximum punishment. Online voices did what online voices do. They simplified. They blamed me. They preached. They pointed. The child she left behind asked why mommy was away. The answer shifted based on who spoke. The grandparents talked about mistakes. The teacher spoke about consequences. No one had good words for that small heart. The case sits tangled. Motive looks clear on the surface, yet motive here wears layers. Broken trust, manipulation, emotional abuse, public shaming, financial control, isolation. Each strand matters. Together they formed a net she did not escape. The system now decides what her next years look like. Dates move, hearings set and reset, documents filed, then delayed. Some witnesses pull back. Some witnesses cannot decide which truth to own. One fact remains cold. A man is gone. A family grieves. Another woman stares at a wall in a holding cell and counts seconds. The law will judge. The community already did.
You think revenge cures betrayal. It does not. It opens a second wound and keeps the first one raw. You think flattery equals truth. It does not. It often covers a plan that serves someone else. You think you control outcomes once you torch the bridge. You do not. Fire chooses its own path. Here is the straight talk no one gave Lucy at the start. Walk before you burn. Ask for counsel from people who love your future, not your rage. Put space between impulse and action. Write down everything that hurts, then wait a week before you act on any of it. Protect your finances before you protect your pride. Keep proof of promises. Do not enter a house where your dignity has no room. Pain does not excuse harm. You deserve safety. You deserve respect. You also carry responsibility for your choices. That mix is hard. That mix is adult.
If you are in a triangle where someone promises you the world while another person cries in their kitchen, step away. If you are cheating to repay a wound, you are writing a sequel to the same pain. Close the book. Neighbors remember the night by sounds. A glass breaking, a short scream, the echo of sirens. They tell reporters that Lucy was quiet. They tell reporters that Ben loved parties. They tell reporters that the first wife kept her chin high. Memory often edits stories to fit pride. Truth sits somewhere in the middle, staring at the floor, refusing to speak. Picture the guest room now. The curtain still moves with the breeze. The crack in the wall still looks like a lightning fork without thunder. The bed holds a dent where someone used to sit. The phone charger lies on the floor. The air smells like cleaning agents and old dust. A housekeeper wipes the surface and hums. Life flows forward. Houses forget. People do not. You, the viewer, carry your own reasons for watching. Curiosity, empathy, fear, maybe a quiet warning from your gut. Take the warning. If you stand at the edge of a choice that trades dignity for a promise, step back. If someone tells you to join a secret and call it love, walk away. If rage asks for a seat at your table, do not serve it. You will pay the bill with pieces you cannot replace. This story is a map of dissent that began with a message and ended with a morgue tag. It moved through rooms where silence did the loudest harm. It asked simple questions and received cruel answers. It shows what happens when two betrayals collide in a small space with no exits. People still argue about blame. Some point to the first affair, some point to the seducer who made promises and then locked the door, some point to Lucy and stop there. The answer does not sit neatly on one plate. There were crossings you do not make. She crossed them. There were lines you do not step over. He pushed her toward them and then mocked the fall. No debate changes the hard end. This remains an active case with open wounds. Files move across desks. Papers carry stamps. Lives carry scars. A child grows with questions. A community whispers warnings at backyard gatherings when the music drops low. The lesson is simple and cold. Revenge does not heal. It only spreads harm. If you felt anything during this story, act on the lesson, not the anger. Use your next hour to call someone who gives clear advice. Use your next morning to set boundaries you can defend. Use your next week to exit any room that erases you. Choose a future where you sleep in peace, not in a house that stares back with locked doors. Thank you for staying till the end. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow for more videos.